How the Cowboys will line up tonight, said Bonner.
Justin James, Cody Kelly is a guy that's come on, done an outstanding job leading the team. Hunter Maldonado, a freshman from the Springs, is doing a really good job. Alan Herndon, one of the top shot blockers in the conference, in America for that matter. And then Hayden Dalton is one of those fantastic scorers, can rebound. He's long at 6'9", a mismatch for a lot of different teams.
And for the Colorado State Rams, as we mentioned in the open, they're a little beat up, but here are the 5 who will start things out tonight.
Yeah, you look for things to run through Shea Bob and Nico Carvacho, the 2 inside players. They've got to provide offense. Deion James has done an outstanding job on the blocks. Anthony Bonner has got to control tempo with this team. And folks, let me tell you about this guy, Raekwon Mitchell, athlete, 40-plus inch vertical jump, can jump out of the gym. You'll look forward to watching him tonight.
And a 21-foot long jump as well. There's a look at Larry Eustace, 121 and 73 here at Colorado State. He's 523 and 331 in his 24-year career. Referees are Vern Harris, Winston Stiff, and Tommy Nunez for the Board Award tonight in Fort Collins, Colorado. Time for the jump. And we're underway from the Forts. Tip is won by Wyoming, and appropriately, Justin James is the first one that takes control. Gets the pass back. Jumper is up, and it's good. Wyoming out to a 2-0 lead early.
It's almost too easy. Comes off the rub and turns the corner with such quickness.
You called him JJ. May have to shorten that if he's going to get past 30 again tonight. Again, he's had 33 in consecutive contests. Colorado State moving in the way of Shea Bob. Bonner, you know a Bonner or two. Here's the other James up and in. This one is Dion, and we're tied at 2.
Beautiful ball movement. I tell you what, when this team moves the ball, they can do a lot of good things offensively. They can't get stagnant with it. That's when they go on their droughts.
Hayden Dalton for Cody Kelly. One of the greatest basketball players in Wyoming State history, Cody Kelly. Shot does not go. Rebound comes down to the Rams. Bonner looking for the right option. Should point out CSU not in green and gold tonight. It's their state pride uniforms. The football team did their version of it in the fall, and now it's men's basketball's turn to do it here in 2018. James trying to make a move to the basket. Out for Mitchell. You see that jump. His three-point attempt is no good. Rebound comes down for Hayden Dalton.
Still, good ball, man. You got to be excited if you're a Rams fan.
There's a kick out. 3 is no good. In and out. Nico Carvacho. Eustace and company very high on his abilities, his opportunity. Mitchell picks it out. Here's a 3. That's way short. Down to James. There's a foul underneath.
That was blocked.
It's going to be on 1.
That was blocked outside. That's a great closeout. And you don't get the payoff. See Hayden Dalton with the block there, and James gets it quickly. Cody Kelly on the arm.
Foul is on Cody Kelly, so that means that Deion James will go to the line. 71.7% from the charity stripe so far this season. First attempt and only attempt is no good, and Wyoming comes down with a rebound. Maldonado back up top. Justin James way long 3. That hits the iron off the glass and down for the Rams once again. A little bit ambitious there for Justin James, but when you've had a hot hand like you've had lately, then you can usually get away with that.
It's one of those heat checks. See if you still have it rolling. But you want to get good shots in these kind of games. The longer you keep it close with an undermanned team.
Long 3 from Bonner. Nails it from the foothills.
Way out.
And why not? We've seen some long 3s already in this one tonight. Just shoot from half court. Why not? Here's Kelly. He'll kick it out for Herndon. And that attempt is no good. And Wyoming, who's usually a pretty darn good shooting team, is not hitting the early jump shots.
Struggling early on, but not being as selective as they could be in this game.
Up top, Carvacho. Still was a professional soccer player. American at Southern Alabama. Now here's Mitchell. 3-sport athlete. His jumper way off the mark. But again, you see how he jumps, and he lets that jumper go, and he's 4 feet in the air. And now for Justin James. Takes it out off the glass, and that's no good.
Not hitting early. This is a team that shoots the ball fairly well from the field. I mean, they're struggling early on.
17% from the field right now for Wyoming. Here's Che Bob from distance and good again. Wyoming looking to just get a basket. They had the first one of the game, and it's been all Rams ever since. It's out of bounds from Al Herndon. Rams ball, and it's going to be inbound just in front.
That's a great call by Vern Harris. He's right on top of it.
They'll inbound it. Now here's Anthony Bonner, who will bring it up the floor. That's enough for Raekwon Mitchell. James back up top. Wanted the jumper, turns back the other way. Now Bonner will take over control.
Jumped into a man-to-man. They were in a matchup zone.
Here's Bob in the paint, and he gets fouled on his way up. So free throws for the Rams when we come back. But it's been the three ball that have had the Rams going. 8 of 13 so far.
And got a lot of good shots, and that's why they are up early in this game.
Bob's free throw attempt is no good, so that means that not a single free throw has found its way through the nylon so far tonight. Bob, 68.3% from the free throw line going into tonight. Second attempt is good. Finally, we get a free throw that matters. Now here's James trying to get Wyoming back into this. And the Rams have won the last 3 games versus Wyoming, even though that CSU has lost 4 straight. Foot was on the line. Says Winston Stith, and Justin James making his case.
That's that quickness from Raekwon Mitchell on the challenge. That's a good call.
I mean, I don't think anybody in the building had a better angle at it than we did.
Once he touches it there, and then he slides back, so he's over.
Yep.
You see the midline there. That's a good call.
James is not happy. Vern Harris, one of the other officials, is over there talking to Winston Stith right now. And it will still remain CSU's basketball as we welcome you over into our neck of the world here. The referee's Tommy Nunez giving an explanation to his good friend, Ed Bonner.
I won't repeat it. I won't repeat it.
Caravaggio will inbound. Quick ball movement now from CSU, and that was the key for them. If they keep moving, if they get stuck in the mud against Wyoming, they're in Nowheresville, but they have a pretty decent lead. It's 11-2. As James looking to extend it to 13, and there it is.
Sharing the ball, an extra pass. Caravaggio could have very easily taken that shot. Had a good-looking shot, but made an extra pass and got a better one.
Wyoming 0 for 5 from the field since they made the first basket of the game. 2 turnovers as well. Herndon thought about shooting. Cody Kelly making a drive to the paint. But Wyoming is nowhere on the interior. Now here comes the break for CSU.
Good job of bringing it back out. Being patient.
On through the paint. Took some contact. That shot is no good. Caravaggio the rebound, and the offensive glass comes down to the Rams. But he turns it back over, and
great hustle by James. Listen, if you're Caravaggio, he's on a better pace in conference than was Emmanuel Igbagbo last year. I mean, that's saying something. This guy's averaging 13 rebounds per game in conference play. So he's on a tear on the boards.
From substitute of the game is Lewis Adams. Enters the contest out of Chicago, Illinois. Played basketball for his dad, Lewis Adams Sr., at Academy High School. Talking about Caravaggio. 5 rebounds so far. We're not even 6 minutes into this game. Long distance. Thought about it once and twice. Kicks it up for 3, and once again that's no good from Adams.
You know, I'm old school, so I've never liked it when a guy came off the bench
and shot right away.
Right away. Get in the flow. Get a field going.
If you want to be a game changer, I get it, but patience. As James brings down the lob pass. Goes up, off the glass and in. It's all too easy.
Solid defense, but just a better offensive move. Great usage of the drop step. He's got 8 points in the first half already.
Just found the game on CSU, and James has the float so far.
I mean, that's solid defense by Hayden Dalton, and he just goes right up over the top of him.
So the foul goes against the Rams, and they'll make a substitute as well. And James will get a little bit of an ovation as he goes to the bench, as he should. On comes Logan Ryan for the Rams, who's been a rising star the past 3 games or so. He's had to be because of the situations the CSU's been in. Here's a jumper from James. That one should be no problem. It does not go, but they get the offensive rebound. 3 from distance off the back of the rim. And it's another piece of offensive class from the Cowboys.
This is an area that the Rams have improved.
And finally one goes, this time for Hayden Dalton, as the first field goal made since 11 seconds into the contest.
That was that drive that seems like it was 2 days ago.
I'm pretty sure it was, actually. Kick out. Ryan thought about shooting it. Bob will instead. It's off the mark. Rebound down for James, trying to push the pace. Holds it up, one-handed attempt, overshoots it. Rebound down to his teammate Lewis Adams.
It's a good job of body control by Justin James not to pick up the offensive foul.
Comes out for James. Big switch. Now Adams will shoot the 3 ball, and that's good. Couple 3-pointers from distance, and you're back in the contest. It's now 15-8 CSU.
That's what this team does so well.
Mitchell with some nice moves. Again, played football. Didn't start playing basketball his junior years. Carvaccio hit a 3. He was feeling left out as far as 3-point shooters go for the Rams.
I didn't know the big fella had that in his repertoire.
I didn't know either. Carvaccio, 33.3% in 3-point land so far this season.
That's a great challenge. Put the body on Remeka, didn't allow him to get to the rim.
Ryan Mitchell, long jumper. Almost too strong as Mitchell. That's off of Wyoming out of bounds. Rams will have possession along the baseline.
Mitchell has got to attack the rim. He is too good an athlete to stand out there and just pull threes. If you're not hitting them right away, you know you're not hitting them. Yeah. Attack the rim.
Right. We know that CSU, one of their strong points has been the offensive glass, but 6 of the 8 points that Wyoming has scored are second chance points. Ryan can't handle the pass. Who did go off of last? Is off of Wyoming. The Rams will have possession when we come back, extending their lead. It's now 10 points here. Does he really mean this much to the... I mean, they're doing okay so far without him, but the past 3 games, it's been sort of a black hole for them.
Well, not only the points, but just the leadership and the willingness to defend on both ends.
Meantime, a slam attempt or half layup as well from Andrew Momeka that does not go. He gets fouled on the way up, and he'll get free throws.
That's a great challenge by Ryan. You don't let the guy get a wide open dunk. Momeka's coming in with bad intentions, and he goes up. That's a good job. Great job by Logan Ryan.
Momeka just over 50% from the line, approaching 55, and his first attempt is good. Lead is now cut in half. Substitution time, and Deion James, who's 4 for 4 from the field, will come back into the game for the Rams. Rancho will take a seat. We'll also see Robbie Berwick for the first time tonight. Sophomore, 2 years of eligibility remaining last year. Sat out 2015-16, was injured. Didn't see any action playing at Florida State. And here's Bonner. He towards the baseline, kicks it up to James, looking to go 5 for 5, and why not?
Wow.
Sitting and set Bonner's lap, Deion James hits that 3. That's out of bounds. Whose foul will it be? It'll stay here with Wyoming.
I mean, at first thought, I'm looking at Bonner go down the baseline. Where are you going? He gets in trouble, but kicks it out. James spots up and knocks it down. 11 points in the first half.
When you're hot, you're hot, and that's Deion James right now, 5 for 5. This attempt is off the mark from Justin James. Rebound down for the Rams. double dribble, and he knew it the second he did it, did Anthony Bonner.
He's trying to get it up to Berwick, and Berwick turned his head. He didn't want to turn it over, but he ends up doing it anyway.
It's funny, sometimes brain works faster than the body does.
Completely does. My eyes just fooled me. Thought he was looking right at my face.
Here's the Swede, Alexander Akagorski, who will check into the contest for Wyoming. Averaging 21.6 points per game is Akagorski. Dion James, not the one who has the ball right now, 5 for 5. Wyoming as a team, 3 for 15. Is that some SWAT action? And Che Bob stares down his victim after he does it.
Leads the team in block shots. I believe that's his 56th on the season.
Sure is. James back up top. Berwick. Shooting. Makes a move on the inside. Spin left hand attempt is way off the mark, off the top of the glass.
It had to slip out of his hand. It was actually a great move until the shot.
Too much roll on it. Kick out Wyoming. They can't get to the interior. Shooting from the outside, and that doesn't hit anything but the hands of Dion James. And it's another turnover for Wyoming. Bonner from distance.
Ooh.
Starting to get silly with the three-pointers.
They are. That's not even from distance. That first one he took was right in front of us. That one was a little tighter, but he comes down and no one contests the ball. Someone's got to come up. You see Hayden Dalton pointing. Somebody get up and contest the ball.
Company find themselves comfortably ahead. It's a 14-point lead for the Colorado State Rams. Big back out. James running toward the basket. Swatted away from him by James, but Wyoming gets the rebound. Legs get tangled up underneath the basket. Referees reach in just to make sure no funny business happens, but everyone seems to be up and okay, and that includes Hayden Dalton.
I think what Coach Edwards wants is for these guys to attack the basket. You saw Lou Adams take it right to the basket there. Stop settling for jump shots.
Al Herndon back into the game. 6'9", senior from Colorado Springs, Widefield High School. And look at the inbound. Adams moves towards the basket. Couldn't really put the pieces together, and the ball rolls out of bounds, and CSU will get the ball. Nothing is going right now for Wyoming.
Well, they're just seem out of sorts. They're kind of forced. You're coming off back-to-back games where you're over 80 points. One of those 104 against the best team in the conference.
Bob tries to slam it home. It's blocked away. We were talking to some of the Wyoming staff before. They said, you know what, this is a streaky team. They can be down by 20, but then still come back in the second half and make it a game. And they've gone to 2 games back-to-back in overtime this week against good teams as well.
Well, I had them earlier in the year against Boise State when they were 3-0 in conference, and Boise State gave it to them in the first half. And they came out and dominated the game in the second half. So this is a team that will continue to battle. And listen, shots will start to fall. They're too good of scorers for them not to.
It's been the story for Wyoming all year. On the inside, to make anything happen. Bob shooting from distance. Shot clock expired. Ball didn't touch the rim. So it's a violation against the Rams.
You know, when you're outmanned and undermanned, meaningless possessions can't happen. You've got to get really good shots. You can't have desperation threes going up. Colorado State's got to do a better job of getting in their offense, making possessions count.
Wyoming has only made 1 2-point basket all night. The first basket of the game. The three-pointer from distance does not go. Their other points have come from three-pointers. So 2 from 9, from three-point line. Down deep. Camacho up off the glass. No good. Rebound down for Akagorski.
He's challenged by the big fella. Herndon. One of the top shot blockers in the conference.
And there's a block going against Robbie Berwick. So it's another foul against the Rams. Out of bounds will be where the Cowboys will inbound as Mitchell will check back in for CSU. Redding on the dribble. Dalton thought about shooting, taken away from him. For Justin James, and there's a foul on Che Bob, says Vern Harris.
And that's a good call. But he's just being a little too physical, but just trying to keep Dalton off the spot. That's what you have to do to him.
Inbounds on the baseline. Now up top for James. Scoring for Herndon. Going to move inside. Sky hook does not go. Rebound down for Carvacho.
Well, we've seen some very interesting shots coming from a really good offensive team.
You can tell they just want something to go in, so they're trying everything, but sometimes that's not the approach you should have. Want to go back to basics. Bonner for J-Bob in the corner. Carvacho. Another three. That one no good. Here comes Herndon. 1-on-3 into the paint. Swatted away from him, but I think we have a foul before the block.
It is, but you also talk about your two guards or two of your top leading scorers, your 27 points combined. They're both out. Right. The points have got to come from somewhere, and that's a good option to have.
I know they're coming from Deion James. Free throw does not go for Al Herndon. He's 62.5 from the line so far this season.
It's always amazing to me with guys that have such really good strokes that they can't make the free throws. I feel like it's strictly a concentration thing. Now Shaq,
pressure thing as well.
One thing, didn't have a good stroke.
All the players on both teams are 7 from 34. Deion James is 5 for 5. As this one is knocked away by the aforementioned number 20, there's a foul in the mixer as well. And I think the ball is going to stay on this end of the court.
See the athleticism getting up off the floor from Bonner, Mitchell, keeping the ball alive, getting extra opportunities.
Deion James. Last three defenders. J-Bob finds his way in. It's going to be a charge against J-Bob, says Vern Harris.
I could see where that could be called. However, there wasn't enough clearance for that to be the call.
Wyoming now trying to get back into it. Mr. James, Herndon, Redding, now Akagorski.
Got away with a walk when he first received the pass.
And that happens. There's a move from Hayden Dalton, who finally puts one in. And that seems like the first basket in a while for the Wyoming Cowboys.
Baffles me at times with Hayden. He settles for those jump shots, but with his length and ability to handle the basketball, that's the kind of shots that you need to take early to open up the rest of your game.
Sort of built that way. Family of athletes. His sister is a volleyball player at the University of Texas. Mitchell, and up along three, moves inside. High lob, off the glass, off the rim. There's a push down. It's going to be a foul against Lorenzo Jenkins into the contest. Jenkins just averages 4.3 points per game. He's off the bench for sure. He's a transfer from Arkansas on the Razorbacks. And now it's free throw time for the Wyoming Cowboys as we hit the bonus. No good. Logan the rebound for Colorado State. 6.5 to go in our first half here from Fort Collins. Deion James, too short. Rebound. Couldn't be collected by Lorenzo Jenkins. Now the Pokes have it. Long three. And that one's in from Akagorski.
That was pure. That looked great when it left his hand.
And sometimes you just know, don't you?
Absolutely. He's the guy that they've been waiting to get on track. He's struggling a little bit shooting with the threes.
Mitchell getting like his though up there. Akagorski, the other number 3, comes down with a rebound. There's a foul by Mitchell, a little bit over aggressive as he pokes Hayden Dalton, and now the Cowboys will go back to the line this time. It's number 20 who will give it a shot. The CSU, who was hot for a long time, is now 0 for their last 7, and that's the game of basketball for you. Can just turn that quickly.
It is, and I talked about earlier having this Wyoming team. They go through droughts as well. Both these teams will go through some drought scoring. But I'll tell you, if you can just settle in, make extra passes to get the real good looks, you have a better opportunity to score instead of relying on the threes.
Back into the game is Maldonado. And Maldonado also from Colorado Springs. Something Wyoming's done very well is make sure that some of their players are close to home, either in Wyoming or in Colorado, just over the border. Wyoming, all of a sudden now, is on a 7-0 run. It's 24-17. That lead slipping away for the Rams. Berwick in the corner. Jenkins thought about shooting. Bonner, that was a super long three in the paint now. He'll finger roll it, knocked away from him. Ball still bouncing around and finally brought down by Maldonado. James for three, no good. Rebound down for Dalton. Avoids the double team. Back up for James now. Will wants the three, and that's no good as well. Second bounce went wide of the mark.
Lane was clear for him there as well. No one had stepped up. He could have taken that right to the rim.
James trying to move inside. Kicks it up for Jenkins. Approaching 5 to go in our first half.
The Cowboys understanding that the shooting has gone cold. Jumped in the zone.
Finally gets the basket. Right on cue, said Bonner. And now it's 26-17 CSU. "13 points now for Deion James. Dalton, Akagorski, the Swede. Dalton maybe waited too long, has it swatted away from him by James. 20 on 20. Dalton to the rim. He's fouled on his way to the basket, and he'll get free throws. So there was a long run where Wyoming was on a 7-0 run. That was stopped by Deion James. And who else on this night?
Uses the rim for protection against Herndon. That's a great job going the opposite side and finishing.
Hayden Dalton is a pretty darn good free throw shooter, approaching 85% hits his first opportunity as James will come out and Lewis Adams will come in for the Cowboys.
I don't think Coach Edwards is too happy about that second three he took down here on this other end. And I don't care who you are, if you're not playing the game the right way, he's going to get you over and let you know about it.
Dalton 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Again, Alan Edwards, don't want to say it's learning on the job, but usually you got to cut your teeth Division II or another Division I program somewhere else, but he jumped right into the Mountain West Conference to Alan Edwards. Graduate of Kentucky, 2002.
He was on Coach Shiatt's staff, so
yeah.
He's been around and the players trust him. And coming from Kentucky and the success he had there, I mean,
James kicks it out, trying to beat the shot clock off the glass, and Jenkins with the offensive rebound. Bonner. James spin move. It's going to be a charge against another 20. Mulvey Arena doesn't like it, but that's how it is. From Winston Stiff. Starting to be a good basketball game here in Fort Collins. Back in the morning. 100%.
third-year defensive tackle.
It was the necklace that gave it away. Got a whistle, and Vern Harris says there's a push-off away from the ball, I think. They've gotten some input from Larry Eustatius, who was standing right in front of the CSU bench. And Alan Edwards is visibly frustrated. Fouls are now 10-4. CSU and Wyoming, respectively. 3.5 to go in our first half, and there's another foul, this time on Wyoming. It's Lewis Adams.
I think that's the fastest 2 fouls I've seen an individual pick up in a while.
So Jenkins will inbound right in front of the Wyoming bench. Bonner now for Berwick. So he got trapped. He get the ball away. Bonner will shoot a long three. That rims in and out.
That thing was down.
Give you gravity just to do a little bit more work. Now here's James back off the bench, and he gets his first basket since the opening seconds.
And that's the shot you want him taking right there. He can hit the three, but when he's not hot, he needs to attack the rim.
You got to get it back. 11-2 run now. James off the glass. He got a push on his way through the paint. Now he'll get some free throws. Gorski is the guilty party, and that's his second foul of the game. So Deion James at the line, 71.7% going into tonight's. He's the Tucson, Arizona native. And as I mentioned, the Division II National Player of the Year, transfer from Pima Junior College. Free throw is off the rim and good. It's now 27-21. The lead is just 8 now for Colorado State. Here's a long three from Herndon that finds the underside of the basket.
It's a great looking stroke. He's so smooth and does so many good things on the floor.
Here's Bonner trying to make a move. Top of the arc, now Jenkins. Crowd starting to come alive at Moby. 3-point lead until just now as Deion James gets it back and extends the lead back to 5.
Somebody came to play tonight.
16 points for number 20 now. Lead was as much as 14. It's now just 5 as the rebound is off of Wyoming, and it's finally brought down by Bonner.
I love that. That's a great call. Non-call by Tommy Nunez. The guys are playing hard, going up for that rebound. Let them play it out.
In the corner now is Logan Ryan. Fans can smell that this is starting to slip away from them. The lead, as we mentioned, was 14 at one point. Bonner towards the paint. It's a wing and a prayer of that attempt, and it's easy for James to come down with. He'll dish it out for Maldonado.
Very poised freshman Maldonado. Can score, but is extremely patient.
Long three! And Hayden Dalton. That'll silence the crowd pretty quick, except the Wyoming fans that are up in the top corner, and that's 12 points for the big man. Two-point ball game, approaching a minute to go in our first half.
Matchup zone is creating a lot of problems. They have so much length on the floor.
Foul on Justin James, but it's his teammate Hayden Dalton. Again, it's another long three.
Yeah, they're not shy about taking. You see the good pass, and if your hands are down, you're down, because he's going to knock it down. Got to have a little harder closeout. Force him to put it on the floor. You have a chance to get it out of his hands at that point, but lazy closeouts won't get it done.
Berwick at the line now. First try is good, and it should be, because he's 82% from the free throw line so far in 2017-18.
He and I share the same barber. We love it. Awesome.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Awesome.
Looks good, though. Doesn't look good on me. You can't pull off the shaved head look. I'll leave that for you guys. Off the glass and in for Maldonado. He likes his hair as well. Under a minute to go. A 1-point lead. Here's Berwick. Wyoming has not led in his first half. If they can get a steal here, they have a chance to do just that.
They're forcing them so far out on the floor to start their offense. That's why it's getting so late in the clock.
This attempt is no good. Brought down by Herndon. And James is going to wait it out. Timeout is taken by. Is definitely absolutely a first-round draft pick, but maybe a top 15 or 20.
They don't go 7-footers just anyway.
Nope. Especially a guy that has athleticism like that. Meanwhile, back in Fort Collins, 10 seconds to go, and Wyoming could take the lead with a bucket here. Herndon moves towards the basket, fouled on his way, and one.
It's about the only thing Deion James has done wrong in this half. Cut off his right hand, force him to his left. You see the quick move by Herndon, which he didn't expect. Gets his shoulder in front, and then he's able to just lean through and get it up on the rim. Really good job.
Free throw is good. 3.6 seconds left. Yes, you could tie with a basket here. Bonner a long three. The buzzer does not go. And after a 14, it's had as well. Cheatham as well. Hey, there he is. Telling the story here at Moby Arena as we are back underway. And Colorado State's going from right to left this time. There's Deion James. Of course, 7 of 8 from the field in that first half.
Camacho's got to look to shoot that. He just had 3 points in the first half.
Jay Bob, he'll hit the first basket of half number 2, and it's good for 3.
Camacho with 7 boards in the first half, just 3 points. They're going to need some scoring from him to help down the stretch as well.
Cody Kelly was back in the game. Here's a long three to hit the outside of the rim. The CSU will come down with it. They wanted to trade threes, but maybe you just want to get some points back as get your lead back up top. CSU has it back by 1. James off the glass. No problem whatsoever.
Such a good seal. You're watching this, you're a young post player. You watch how great he sealed and just went straight up immediately.
18 points now for Deion James. Kelly from way far away, and he'll get the first 3 of the half for Wyoming.
That would be downtown.
Downtown Denver,
downtown
absolutely.
equates to way far away.
Denver, a 45-minute plus drive away, and that's exactly where Cody Kelly hit that from. Kelly, Wyoming's only 2-time Gatorade Player of the Year winner.
He's a guy that scrapped his way into the lineup a year ago and has just continued to play well for Coach Edwards. Stabilizing factor out there on the court. Solid on the defensive end.
5'11", 186 pounds. He's a sophomore from Gillette, Wyoming. Mitchell, dish pass in the paint. Garbacho is fouled on his way through, and he'll get free throws. Seems to be shaken up a bit as well. And Cody Kelly, right on cue, is the guilty party.
It's a good pass. I think he just comes down gingerly. He's grabbing at his back.
So Garbacho steps up to take the free throw. Not the best, 64%. Average will go up with that make, and now it's 36-35. CSU back on top.
Nothing worse than trying to step up to the free throw line with a little ache or something that just came on.
The place where you need to focus the most, and something that takes that focus away. And Garbacho, no problem. He makes both of his free throws. As a team, runs about 56% from the charity stripe. Justin James making a move through. Found the space, but couldn't make it go, and it's going to be a jump ball. James will call fouls. Now that I think about it, Winston Stiff says that's a foul, and it's going to go against Wyoming.
That's a good effort there by Maldonado to tie it up. Tough call, but time you go over the arm or through the arms, you run the risk of that call.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? You want to win that ball away. What a move by Mitchell off the glass. It doesn't go. Would have been spectacular if it did.
And you see his quickness as well with the ball.
Ronaldo's fouled on his way to the basket. He'll go to the line this time. Rancho fouled a moment ago. Now he's the fouler.
It's his third.
Gotta be careful. Free throws in and out. Substitution time for the Cowboys. Redding will re-enter the contest out of Cleveland, Ohio. He's a transfer as well from Washington State. And the theme for Wyoming, getting transfers in. Maldonado misses both of his free attempts.
Takes a special individual to go up to Laramie and play up there.
Yeah.
You got to be special. You got to be strong mentally.
Mitchell, fade back jumper is good. That's his third and fourth points of the night. Long three is an air ball. Brought down by James. Four-point lead for Colorado State. Carvacho finds Mitchell on the interior off the glass and in. Good vision. And it's 2 baskets in a row for Mitchell.
He's had some open looks, haven't been able to knock anything down.
And down low, tried to pick out Al Herndon, knocked out of bounds, and Cowboys will retain possession in front of the right bench.
Talked about earlier of boxing out and holding your seal, but watch this nice cut and a good pass. The thing about Nico Carvacho, he's an excellent passer, has great vision. You see right there the slashing of Raquan Mitchell.
There's a 3 from Maldonado. That's off the back iron, brought down by James, and he stepped in front of Hayden Dalton,
who stood there and waited for the ball. He had a chance to go get it. He just stood there and waited on it.
CSU started out hot. Before that, they were 4 of 5. Now 4 of 6 to begin our second half. Wyoming just 1 of 5. There's another turnover by the Cowboys off the hands of Hayden Dalton. Tries to win it back, not the bounds. Rams basketball. Back into the game is Momeka at Lake City, Florida. Him and Justin James went to the same high school there in Florida, Old Smart Christian. Mitchell on the inbound. Just underway in our second half. There's a tale of 2 halves in the first half, if that makes sense. CSU early on, and Wyoming came back to take the halftime lead, 32-30. It's now 41-35 Rams.
You got to stop the basketball. That's a poor job defensively. And an excellent job by Redding to just continue on. Nobody stops you. Keep going. That's the easiest bucket for anyone on the night. The easiest bucket.
That was the express lane to the basket for Redding. Now here's Mitchell. Trying to make it 3 in a row for him. Doesn't go. Rebound down for Momeka.
He could have just taken that shot as soon as he caught the ball. He had a little 8-footer.
James.
Great defense. Great defense.
It's Bonner with the defensive responsibilities. Now Redding. Momeka. Good ball movement by Wyoming. Maldonado winging a prayer again. Doesn't come down. 6 seconds in the shot clock. James knows it. Tries to make a way through. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Won't count if it goes. And it's a shot clock violation against Wyoming. They knew it was coming. Couldn't avoid it anyhow. It's been all Rams in the early going here in half number 2. 41-37. We'll be back.
Made the plan. Got to pick early. He got to pick the hot dog.
I'll take Santa Claus. You get the hot dog.
He's hot dog with mustard, too.
Right. Where's the relish?
Relish.
It's the only way.
Maybe some onions if you don't have a date.
Exactly. Flying solo that night. Wyoming flying down the court right now. Maldonado in the corner. And he misses, but it's confusing why Redding didn't take the ball to the basket.
That's the era of basketball where everyone runs to the corners and elbows instead of to the basket. No one stopped the ball. He could have taken that right in, possibly for a dunk.
Long 3 from James doesn't go. It's off the shot clock on the top of the glass, and he's going to be out of bounds, and it'll stay CSU basketball. Does that come from just watching too much NBA almost? Because that's the NBA game now, right? You shoot from the corner, but that's not the game of college basketball, especially tonight.
Well, you watch fast breaks, and people are running and spotting up on the corners, on the wings, beyond the arc. And it's not the old-time fast break where 3-on-3 wings are filling to the basket. They're staying outside trying to get those shots. That's a travel.
Taking to the rim. See Bob almost traveled there. Mitchell will try his hand at a 3.
7 points in the second half after not scoring.
Maldonado answers back, but just one less. He is now 5 points, 44-39. Mitchell starting to find his groove in the second half. And while he's had plenty of opportunities, nothing was really going for him in the first frame. And now starting to find a basket here in half number 2. That was almost a double dribble on Carvacho.
That was. He knocked the ball down to himself. Great shot by Bonner.
Bonner will make it count. And now now he has his 8th point of the night.
Well, one of these hot shooting streaks right now with both teams.
Yeah.
Ball going in.
Very streaky for both yellow and white tonight. In the corner. Redding off the glass. Layup doesn't go. Carvacho the rebound.
I do like that move down the baseline. No one stops you. You just have to finish.
CSU started to have 4 of 5 since only been 2 of 6. As soon as I say that, here comes Bonner with a 3 from the corner. And Prentice Nixon loves it from the Rams bench. Timeout, Wyoming.
Third trip.
Don't tell me or ask me how I know that, but they do. Those last 3 wins by CSU, all of them have been by 5 or fewer points. So don't expect anything different tonight from Moby Arena. For Wyoming, all 9 players have scored. No Cowboy with more than 3 field goals made. And now here's Running, who adds to his resume on the night.
Tell you what, Mitchell's got to do a better job defensively. As good athletically as he is, he's got to do a better job just staying in front and moving his feet.
Bonner, Carvacho!
Great pass.
Makes it count in a big way. Gorski now for Redding. You're that tall, which I would know nothing about. I try and dunk it as many times as I could as well.
Without question, no layups. Layups can get blocked.
Yeah, exactly. You want to make it no doubt. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Long 3 is no good. Rebound down for Che Bob. Wyoming, 8 for 21. Excuse me, that's 8 for 22 now from 2-point range. 6 for 20 from outside the arc. There's a push-off by Che Bob. No decision. In the corner, long 3 for Mitchell. Yes, sir! Wyoming needs to stop the bleeding here. It's now 10 points for number 3 in white tonight. First attempt
Great
does not go.
Herndon with the tip.
That's absolutely correct. Number 5 makes it count. And that's now 8 points on the night for Al Herndon.
I mean, they never run any plays for you. You rarely see him get a set play run for him. But he finds ways to contribute points in the games.
Bonner making a move towards the basket. Took some contact, but the ball goes in anyhow. Everything's dropping right now for the Rams.
If you're Wyoming, you just got to hang in there and be more mentally tough than that. You can't allow the ball stripped.
It's a timeout called on the floor. Looked like a caffeine-free beverage for...
Who can? It's probably Diet Coke in there.
It was a caffeine-free Diet Coke for Larry Eustace. Don't want to be up too late after tonight. CSU on that 12-4 run has made the last 6 shots that they've taken. Trying to make it 7 now with Bonner. Of course, that was the kiss of death, and that's a foul underneath against Wyoming, and the ball will stay at this end of the court.
Hayden Dalton on the push.
Believe it or not, that's just his first foul tonight for the big man. Mitchell back up top. The shirt has come untucked for the number 3. Carvacho. Bonner back to Carvacho. Looking for someone on the interior. Late man arriving is Che Bob. 1 move and 2 move. Hits the rim, and now it's down for Al Herndon. Wants to move it. On the inside, and Gorski runs over Mitchell. And it may have looked worse than it was, but the foul is going to go against
it's almost like when guys get the ball on the fly at times, because we shoot so many threes, you don't know how to finish. And you see the slide, he just slides a little to his left to try to create a little more contact. That's a good call.
First free throw attempt is good by the number 3. A lot of threes and frees going on right now. Gorski, 84% from the free throw line going into tonight, makes that one count as well. Substitution for the Rams. It's Deion James who will check back in. And James was Having a wonderful night tonight so far. Leads everybody with 18 points.
If you're Wyoming, you just got to stay patient. Don't get out of sorts. Still plenty time. You know you're a team that can go on a run. You turn up the defense a little bit and help that ignite your offense.
Big lead tonight was 14 for CSU. It's 11 now. Mitchell thought he was fouled on the way through. He hit the floor pretty hard. On the floor, speaking of, I believe is Al Herndon down with Caravaggio. They called the jump ball. Possession arrow is going the way of Wyoming, and that's exactly what it'll be. Everyone gets up injury-free, which is the good news.
Not so sure that's the best shot you want to take. I know you've been hot in the second half. You got 8 points here in the second half. But do you really need to test the waters? 10 points in the second half.
I can't count either if it makes you feel any better.
Math was never my strong suit.
But you're right. You want to go with what works. And that shot does not work for Al Herndon.
And again, Wyoming lets them off the hook. You get an empty possession for CSU, and you get no points.
And they crawl back in it. And you're down by 10 or more. That clock starts to tick a little bit faster than you'd like it to. Here's Deion James. Clock is ticking now at 8:43. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Caravaggio kicks it out. Broken line. His jumper. Simple. And counts for two.
He's ready to shoot when he received the pass. That's a good job just being ready.
His first bucket of the night. That's out of bounds, and Wyoming shoots themselves in the foot again.
Looked like a blocking foul on the baseline. Not sure Ryan was set when Lewis Adams tried to go by him. However, where are you going on the baseline? There's nothing there. He's trying to cut it off on you. Don't force the issue. Move the ball. You'll get a good shot.
Mitchell been a star in the second half. Moving through everybody. Took some contact. And it's a blocking foul on the way to the basket. Al Herndon, the guilty party, his first foul of the evening.
Isn't that amazing? You got your two 6'9" power forwards, and they both just picked up their first fouls within the last 3 minutes. Watch this elevation. You see the body, the contact, but he is a highlight waiting to happen.
Blood on the knee of Mitchell as he's getting repaired over there. His teammates cheering him on. It's interesting. He's listed at 6'3", 185 as the redshirt sophomore, but he almost plays a little bit smaller than that because he's so agile and athletic.
And quick. You don't see guys that fast or that tall as quick and as fast as he is.
As we mentioned, played football, track and field star. Didn't start playing basketball till junior year in high school. Now here he is playing Division I ball in the Mountain West Conference. Homestead, Florida. Free throw is no good. And his third attempt is upcoming. Trying to extend the lead to 15. Stays at 14. 1 for 3 in that sequence of free throws. There's Lewis Adams. Swatted away, but there's a foul beforehand. And the ball will be underneath the basket for the Wyoming Cowboys.
Get a little chippy out there, which
well, reminds us of that last game between the two up at Laramie.
You expect it, though. I mean, it's a rivalry game. It means a lot to both programs, both teams.
7 fouls between the two in the second half. I'm sorry. Did that to you again.
You're good. We're just having conversations. Sometimes you got stuff to say. Sometimes I got. You don't want your rival running out on you.
No,
like
for
that
sure.
If you're Wyoming, so it's going to get a little testy. There's going to be some contact going on here down the stretch.
It's Deion James now for Bonner. James moved the basket, but he traveled beforehand. 2 steps will do. 3 steps does not work. It's a 13-point lead for the CSU Rams. Back at home, and that's watching college basketball here on your home of the Mountain West, AT&T Sports. Sometimes it's good to just settle in for a couple games at home. Wyoming trying to get settled in and mount a comeback, and I'm starting to tick away as we approach 7.5 to go here in half number 2. Talked about Deion James in the first half. He had 16 points. He has 2 here in the second. Mitchell is the opposite as Carvacho puts it up and in.
That's also a factor that Raquan Mitchell has gone off in the second half. Carvacho's doing okay. Bonner's got 7 points in the second, so they haven't needed him.
Mitchell had no points in the first half, 11 in the second. Dalton was the opposite. Aiden Dalton had 12. He has yet to score here in half number 2.
Carvacho ties that up. That's an excellent job. The Cowboys just cannot seem to break through in the second half.
This is the biggest lead of the game. It's at 15 points for the Rams. Looking to make it 4 straight in the Border War and get their first win at home in the Mountain West Conference this season. It's one of 3 teams in the conference yet to win on their home court. When it comes to conference play, they have 7 non-conference wins. It's a long 3 from Bonner that hits the iron and falls just short. James has really been a factor tonight. Picked it up for Redding. That shot is no good. Rebound down for Carvacho.
Shot selection. I know that's the way you play, but it's so important right now to get good shots.
Not been the case for the Wyoming Cowboys. More so for the CSU Rams. Carvacho up top. Don't go anywhere. Bonner, left-handed dribble under the paint. 1 move and 2. Over the tip of the last second by Al Herman. That should be a charge, and it is as the elbow flew into Logan Ryan, and the foul will go on the number 24 in yellow, Lewis Adams.
And that's not, I mean, this is a really good call because he throws an elbow smack in the face of the young fellow, Logan Ryan, and he just takes it. He's young. Just takes it, goes the other end.
You know, if it doesn't fly in ice hockey, it's probably not going to fly in basketball. 2-minute penalty for Lewis Adams, elbowing. Bench is always important.
Take the short jumper, right. The mid-range jumper. It just shows you the frustration right now that's mounting on this team. You come in here and there's an undermanned CSU Ram team. Undermanned. The 2 best players defensively and offensively are not on the floor.
Carvacho took some contact as he went up, and
Hayden Dalton with the reach in.
Yep. This is second personal. Bench, who's always important. Wyoming. The stat goes against the grain tonight. Wyoming has 15 bench points. CSU, all but 3 of their points have come from their starters. Quiet Moby Arena. Carvacho makes his free throw count. And here comes Deion Lewis back into the contest. Excuse me, Deion James. I was looking at Lewis and I said Deion James. Deion Lewis probably has been in this building at some point, but he is currently not in attendance. Here is Nico Carvacho. That is his real name. Free throw does not count. Rebound brought down by Hayden Dalton. James to the basket. He's fouled, and he'll go to the line.
And how many of those shots have you seen from the Cowboys not go in? They've gotten all the way to the rim and just have not been able to finish. You watch a nice quick move. Good job by Hernan to screen out a little bit and just not able to finish. Talk about a guy that's 66 points over the course of his last 2 games with Justin James and has not been able to get it going tonight.
We mentioned he had 33 points in the last 2. He only has 7 tonight. They're going to check on this foul. If they decide what they originally decided, it's Carvacho. That would be 4 on the big band for CSU. I don't think anyone would be too worried, but he's been one of the best players on the floor tonight. Here's another look.
They could go either way on that. For CSU's sake, they hope it's on Shea Bob.
Different angle. There's a little bit of contact from behind. Third angle look for you. They're actually, sounds like they're going to give it to Shea Bob instead. So Carvacho stays 3 fouls, and Shea Bob upgrades or downgrades, depending on how you look at it, to 3 fouls. Carvacho inbounds for Bonner. Wyoming, last field goal made was at 10 minutes and 52 seconds. Before then, that was a 5-minute and 29-second drought for the Wyoming Cowboys. And they'll take a timeout. Carvacho is, as Nixon looks on. He hasn't played since that game versus Air Force. And the last time CSU won a contest was in Laramie in January. 4-game drought. Mitchell now for Chili Bob. Good ball movement by the Rams, trying to run out the clock as much as they can. Mitchell knows he has 3 seconds on the shot clock. Long attempt! Against all odds, it's going in, and that's the type of second half that it's been for Raekwon Mitchell.
I'm shaking my head as he's throwing it up. Great finish by Herndon.
Herndon took some contact on the way up, and Larry Eustace is a little bit frustrated, especially because it's Nico Carvacho, and there's no question that he's guilty this time around.
I mean, I'm watching that 3 go up, and I'm like, no, not the shot you need.
Made it anyhow.
Bottom. Tell you what, he's about as streaky as they come, but when he gets hot.
14 points now for Mitchell. This is Herndon trying to add to his total of 10. That free throw does not go, and the rebound goes back to the aforementioned Raekwon Mitchell.
He's averaging 5 points on the season. Just under 6.
It's almost a triple his season average right now with 14. As a team, CSU shooting 45%, Wyoming just at 34. Here's another long 3. It's off the mark. Down and out of bounds, and Wyoming will get the ball back.
I'm all for running the clock, but you don't need to wait until the last second, so it's a desperation shot.
At 5-6 second range is totally acceptable. And Hayden Dalton now for James. That long 3 is good for the Cowboys.
They're pressing after made buckets. You see the pressure.
It's a 10-point lead. Rams still leading. Bonner trying to get around that high court press. All the way to the basket. Took some contact on the way through. Rebound down for James, but he has it taken away from him. And here come the Cowboys. Pass press. James wants a 3, and he'll get it.
Wow. No need on the other end for that drive by Anthony Bonner. Take it out. Run some clock. Talked about a little bit ago, your leader's not in the game, so decision-making is key here.
8-0 run for the Cowboys.
Good decision there by Raekwon.
Now he'll go back in, dishes it off. Foul from the back end, 1 for James. Good decision by Mitchell to dish it to James. Nixon loves it, so does Moby Arena. Mitchell to James looking to make it lucky number 21, although his score matches his jersey number, but that will not last long as he now has 21 points on the night. Wyoming went 5 minutes and 30 seconds without a field goal made. They're going to count this basket, they may. If it counts, that'll be 5 for 5 made in the last 2 minutes for the Cowboys.
See the bump there. Gives them the continuation.
It's a 10-point lead. A free throw made here will make it 9.
Yeah, and for, if you're Wyoming, this is the best case scenario. Clock stop, you're putting points on the board.
Now out of that double-digit realm. And the CSU is going to have to take care of the ball. It's a 9-point lead with 3:05 to go in the second half.
Ooh, dangerous pass.
Bonner escapes the lob to Mitchell. Missed the dunk. Now a chance for the Cowboys the other direction. James moves to the basket. Swatted away by Jay Bob.
He says, no, thank you.
That's 2 monster blocks on the night for Jay Bob.
It's a great job, just not giving up on the play. Got to close out on him. You got to close out on him.
9-point lead, then 7-point lead. Now it's a 4-point lead. Carvacho. 2.5 to go. Mitchell in the corner. He's on a hot hand from that region of the court tonight. Jay Bob trying to count it down. 14 on the shot clock. And it's a block against Wyoming. I think it's going to be, excuse me, that's Gorski who's helped up off the court.
Jay Bob just real patient. Did an excellent job of attacking.
Throw is winning good. They get another try. And his first double-double with 14 points and 10 rebounds in 28 minutes. It's the UMES, November 23rd, 2016. And he's nowhere close to that tonight, but at least he has double digits. Points. Now the crowd gets to their feet as we approach 2 minutes to go in the border war. Lob shot from James. Will make some people sit back down. Lead is back to 4 with 2 to go.
It's too easy. You got to force a tougher chance, a tougher shot.
Bob crosses the timeline. Now on the dribble, 17 on the shot clock.
Gorski, you got to buckle down here and get a stop.
And not fouled. Hands it up to Mitchell. Mitchell, a long jumper. Rims in and out. Rebound comes down, though, for Hayden Dalton.
I think that's settling for a jumper that you don't have to settle for.
Dalton in the corner. Running. Into that best option. Gorski with a dagger from the corner.
This guy that has that ability to shoot the three has not been successful much this year. But he has that ability. 1-point game. Did you expect anything else?
Sure didn't.
It's the border war, folks.
One of the more underrated rivalries out there. Wyoming has made 8 of the last 9 shots. 4 of those have been threes. They couldn't buy a bucket earlier in the half.
I'm putting the ball in Jay Bob's hands, letting him go against Gorski.
Carvacho wants the 3. It's short. Rebound on for Wyoming. Poor shot selection. Now here comes Dalton. Wyoming could have the lead here with a bucket, but it's a timeout taken by Allen Edwards.
Wow.
Border war once again is not disappointed. It's Wyoming basketball in front of their own bench with 36.2 to go. There's Redding.
Carvacho with the steal.
Jay Bob moves towards the basket. Layup misses. Gets his own rebound and puts it back. 20 seconds to go. It's a 3-point lead for Colorado State. Long 3, and it's good by Wyoming. There's no way. Tie ball game.
Wow.
Last possession of the half will go to the CSU Rams. It's Bonner trying to make his way through. It's a traveling violation. It's Wyoming basketball with 1.6 to go.
I mean, this is huge. Knives Redding, of all people, sticking the 3.
Not exactly known for his three-point ability, 31% on the year. And what can Wyoming do with a possession here? A long way from the basket with under 2. They inbound. Hayden Dalton, it's blocked from distance. And we are tied. State University in Fort Collins. Tip goes the way of the Cowboys. And 5 minutes of overtime has begun.
With CSU, you can't give in to this.
James has it swatted away, and the foul is going to go on Anthony Bonner.
You can't give in. You've allowed him to come back. You got to just continue to battle and fight. Don't give in. And make it easy for this team.
Larry Stacey, who was standing, has taken a seat. And he'll wipe the sweat off of his brow as the Cowboys will take a free throw and miss a free throw. Both teams not great from the free throw line tonight. Colorado State 63%. Wyoming is 62%. That has improved for that latest make. 73-72. The Cowboys get the first points of overtime. Carvacho. He's in foul trouble.
He's too far out on the wing getting the ball.
Yep. James along three. You can see that it was wide of the mark. Rebound is brought down by Herndon. It's out of bounds. It'll be Rams basketball.
That's a good call. Vern Harris right on top of it.
Looking right down the baseline we're looking at in the corner. Carvacho will inbound it. Right for Mitchell. He's been the story of the second half for the CSU Rams. Bob, head fake.
It's a good hedge by Okagorski to help this guy get back.
Bonner, jumper. That's good.
I'll tell you what, that's a solid shot because that was great defense. Contested shot. He's able to knock it down.
Kick out Wyoming. Dalton back up top. Okagorski three. Rims once and twice. The putback is no good.
That's a controlled tip with Herndon. That's a great job. Yep. There's a foul on Carvacho.
And that'll be number 5, I believe, on Nico Carvacho.
Watch this controlled tip as he goes up. And right there, the body into him.
And fans are complaining because when a guy has 4 fouls, you sort of want that 5th one to be an axe murder, but a foul's a foul, and so Nico Carvacho's night.
Well, he had plenty opportunity there to box him out. He had a lot of, I mean, literally, they both stood there. All they had to do is put a body on him.
Yeah.
And then he has to go over your back. But they stood next to each other, and he allowed Herndon to get up before he did. And that's how he was able to get his hand up for the tip.
Herndon's free throw is no good.
That's a controlled tap. That's a controlled tap. That should be 2 shots.
Yep. Tommy Nunez has stopped playing. He's saying the same thing. And now him and Vern Harris are on the same page. Controlled tip is, in fact, 2 shots, as just mentioned by Seth Bonner. We have some confusion among the crowd, and if we had a mic to address the PA system, you could probably inform everybody.
Well, everybody started running down the other end like it was 1-1.
Well, it doesn't happen very often. Right?
No,
it's easy to forget that it's a 2-shot free throw.
Well, let's just remember how valuable communication is.
We're human beings, after all. Our lives sort of depend on it, as Herndon makes the second one, and it's tied back up at 74. We are in overtime. We ended regulation with the score 72-72. Spin move by James. Loses control. Now it's Wyoming basketball, and he'll want that one back.
Empty possession. And we'll see if Wyoming can make him pay for it.
Slow dribble up the court for Justin James. 17 points, and he's crawled back into a region where he's very familiar, and it's a scoring leader. His jumper is short, no good. Rebound back down to the other James. That one is Diaz. Shea Bob thought about a ridiculously long 3, and cooler heads prevailed. He passes it on for Mitchell. Potter.
He was just showing that.
He's just showing it. There's a long 3 that's short from Logan Ryan.
Oh, Herndon, that's a great rebound right there.
Sure was. The big man getting it done for the Cowboys. Justin James sees a lane off the glass. No good. Rebound back for Logan Ryan.
He's missed his last two. Got guys open. Find your open guys.
James passed down low off the glass and in. Deion James getting back into the conversation.
I like the fact that they're allowed him to play.
Long three, and that's a response if I've ever seen one.
And they've been waiting for Okagorski to bust out for some time. With 3 triples on the night, 2 in the second half.
All but 2 of his points have been 3-pointers. Now has 11. J. Bob, the head fake again from 3-point land, almost a travel. Anthony Bonner moving towards the basket. And he'll go to the line, will Anthony Bonner. Tonight's drive of the game is this, brought to you by the Wyoming Department of Transportation. He saw the lane and he took full advantage of it.
Well, he did a great job, but you got to come over and help. Make guys earn it from the free throw stripe. Hayden Dalton stood there and watched him drive instead of coming over and contesting that shot.
Free throw is good. In overtime, we've had 1 tie and 4 lead changes. And 7 instances of fans on their feet. This is instance number 8. Minute and 32 seconds. The lead is 2 for the CSU Rams. Dalton from 3 land. It's good off the glass. From behind, that looked like it was going to miss by a mile, but it went in.
Shaking my head. There's no way that's going in.
23 points for Hayden Dalton. And now it's 80-79, the Cowboys on top. Response time now for the Rams. What does J. Bob have in store? A baseline drive, turn, jump shot, short. Rebound cooked up, and Bob will come down with it.
That's a good show on the baseline by Hayden Dalton. That time got there, forced Shea Bob to stop.
On the dribble, communicating what he wants. James is held up on the interior by Redding, and I believe that foul is going to be on Darius Redding, and that's going to be his second of the night.
Trying to fight through the pick.
Those are 10-8 Wyoming, so that means it's bonus time for Deion James. He's looking for his 24th point of the night. And he's found it.
Excellent job stepping up, knocking it down.
Second free throw is no good. Rebound down for Justin James. Difference between the shot and game clock is roughly 6 seconds. Herndon kicks it out. Dalton tried to the basket, thought about shooting. Wide open man is Justin James. Now in the corner, 3 ball is in and out, no good. Last chance saloon for the CSU Rams. The shot clock is off. This can only end one way, and that's with high drama. 5 seconds. Bonner calling the shots, almost running out of time. 2 wants the 3 at the buzzer. No good.
More free basketball, folks.
James. Usually we just have 1 tip-off in contest. This will be jump ball number 3 at midcourt, and once again, it's won by Wyoming as Al Herndon almost never loses. He has the ball now. Dalton thought about shooting. Down low for Justin James. Turnaround jumper swatted away by J. Bob. Dalton from long distance. Off the rim, no good.
Been short.
J. Bob. Good defensively. His jumper does not go. Rebound knocked away, and Wyoming is unable to keep it in. It's out of bounds as Redding may have stepped on the line before it went out. CSU will inbound.
Had 3 pokes going for that board. You got to, again, communication is key.
I feel like I've heard that somewhere before in recent times. Here's Logan Ryan now for Jay Bob. Mitchell communicating without saying a word. And James looking for the kick out. Not there. 10 seconds on the shot clock from the corner. Bob will shoot a 3. No good. Rebound is collected by the Cowboys.
Good hustle play by Hayden Dalton. Ball took a bad hop on him off the board.
Justin James, Dalton. And we're looking to move the basketball. Long 3 from Dalton is nothing but nylon.
He's able to square up and be balanced and knock it down. That's a huge shot.
It's out of bounds. Wyoming basketball on Hayden Dalton.
He's able to step in. On the other end, you get a turnover. I think Akagorsi got away with a little forearm bar in the back of Shea Bob. Ball goes over his head and out of bounds.
Both of these teams are very good in double overtime. Wyoming 4 of the last 5 games they've played in 2 OT or more. They've won. CSU has won the last 3 double overtime games, so something is going to have to give. Akagorski, his 3 is short. It's going to be a foul on Herndon as he comes down and bump Logan Ryan in the process.
I really like what they're getting from Logan Ryan. He does all the things right. Boxes out.
Like we said, he's been a fan of Larry Eustace this season, especially of recent times, because he does anything that he's asked to do.
Isn't that what we all did when the coach asked you to do something?
You would hope so. I feel like it doesn't happen as much anymore. It's, guys just go and do their thing, but guys like Logan Ryan are still out there. I'm sure Larry Eustace wanted him to make that free throw. Not the case. He was 0 for 1 on the line, and the Plymouth, Michigan native.
Akagorsi has a little blood issue.
Yeah, second time tonight, and both have been with the number 3 jersey. First Mitchell for Colorado State, and now Akagorski for Wyoming.
I mean, it's the border war.
Right.
Expect to see
not called the border war for nothing. You have to have a little bit of blood, otherwise it's not the border war. Akagorski still getting tended to by the training staff. Training for Wyoming tonight. And with the bow tie, it's a good look for the border war. A big game. The big game bow tie. Logan Ryan back at the free throw line after the blood is cleaned up. Before that, both teams had missed 2 free throws in overtime. That was the first made. Lead is just 2 for the Wyoming Cowboys. Again, they trailed by 16 at one point in this contest, not in overtime. Hayden Dalton. James is wrapped up by Bonner, and that's an easy call for Tommy Nunez, Vern Harris, or both.
That's just a little too aggressive. Over the top. And now James, who's missed, he's 1 of 2 at the free throw line in the second, or excuse me, 3 of 4 at the free throw line. He's got to step up and knock these down.
4 fouls on Bonner, by the way, as James's free throw is good. Extends the lead to 3.
That's a bad foul. Yeah. Just play behind and force him to make a tough shot over the top of you. And then gambles and doesn't get it.
And Ryan brings it down after the miss from James. Now Mitchell will bring it up court for the Rams. 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go in double overtime here in Fort Collins. Long 3 from the Rams is no good. We're standing by at Thomas & Mack Center in Las Vegas to bring you game 2 of a doubleheader. That'll start right after we're done here in Fort Collins.
The Joe and Jerry show.
That's right. Up and in, and James makes it count for Wyoming. In overtime, 0 for 3 from the field. With 50% of the free throws, they haven't led, and they have a turnover to add to that list as well. I'm talking about the 3. Back for Shea Bob. Makes a move. Is that going to be a charge? No, it's going to be a block. Nagorski fell on the floor and almost hit his head on the padded part of the basket.
You know, just about every time when you see this call made, it could go either way. But he's still moving. He's not. His feet aren't planted. He's off the ground. That's an excellent call. There was a ton of contact, but when your feet aren't on the ground and planted, you're not getting that call ever.
It's so tough to make, though, isn't it?
It is. It is.
It's a charge or a block. The toughest things to do. Bob goes to the free throw line, looking to make the second free throw of this double overtime frame for the Rams. And he does. Yes, it's getting late, we know. But hopefully it's just the body is a little bit tired. Mine's still into this game. Hopefully you all are. It's a 4-point lead for the Wyoming Cowboys. And as they play on the road in the second half of the border war. It's all right. Bedtime coming soon, we think, unless we have triple overtime coming up. Williams has been the calming presence. Almost hasn't taken away there. Runs into Jay Pobb off the ball. Dalton on the dribble, 10 seconds on the shot clock, looking to the pass down low. Herndon kicks it back out. James thought about the jumper, and he's fouled. And that's on
Smart
Jay
play,
Bob.
though.
Right, totally. He knew Jay Bob was coming over the top.
And again, it just kills your momentum when you get so deep to the shot clock. But right there, he feels the contact and just throws it up.
So James will go to the free throw line once more.
It's big. It's 5 of 7. The second half alone.
Scored to find things after halftime, and he's 2 for 2 in that instance. James scored the last 5 points for the Wyoming Cowboys. CSU trying to find a groove. They're down by 5, and that'll help. The unlikely hero of Logan Ryan hits a 3-point basket, and it's just a 2-point lead now for Wyoming.
He stepped out like he knew he was supposed to take that shot.
Dalton.
He's only attempted 7 on the year. That's his 8th.
They count at an important time. That 3-point shot is ill advised for Nagorski. Falls short and gets the ball right back to CSU, who could tie or take the lead on this possession. Under a minute to go. 49 seconds. Ryan. Back out for Jay Bob. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Fans know it. Jay Bob, a long 3 off the rim. No good. Rebound down for James. Picks up the loose garbage in the paint. Swatted away from him by Herndon. It'll be Rams basketball underneath the basket.
I feel like they wasted too much time. You wasted a lot of clock. You can go. You should have gone. You're only down 2. But look at that block. He just stays on the ground, patient.
The last 3 is the first 3-pointer made by CSU since 5 minutes left in regulation. Here's Logan trying again. Does not go. Rebound down to the Wyoming Cowboys. They have the 2-point lead. And that's ill advised, and now CSU has to foul. And that's foul number 5 on Anthony Bonner. He'll be the second Ram to foul out tonight. They're starting to make their way towards some of the bombs here at Moby Arena because they perhaps know the inevitable is coming, but don't count it out of the realm of possibilities. 18 seconds is a long time in basketball, people.
Ton of time. 2-possession game at most. Yeah. If he makes both of these, it's a 2-possession game.
So Bonner will take a seat. His night is done. Carvacho fouled out. Now it's Anthony Bonner. Justin James at the free throw line. He makes it count. 3-point lead for Wyoming.
He's gone to the line 9 times in the second half alone. None in the first half.
Sort of indicative of how he was playing the game. Shooting from outside, now moving towards the basket. Now he's made his last for free throws.
80% in the second half from the free throw line.
He scored the last 7 points for the Wyoming Cowboys. It's prayer time for the Rams. That three-pointer is no good. Rebound down for Aiden Dalton.
That's travel when you come down with the ball like that.
Goes unnoticed, and with 5.9 to go, it's a 4-point lead for the Wyoming Cowboys, and they're going back to the free throw line. And those wearing gold and brown inside Moby Arena applauding. Those wearing green and gold and some blue making their way towards the exits.
I mean, they've got to be proud of the effort, and nobody wants that consolation trophy, that attaboy. But I mean, the 2 top players, 2 top scorers are out, and you come out here and take this talented team to double overtime.
And they had them to a 15-point lead and a 16-point lead for the CSU Rams. But in the second overtime, 1 for 8 from the field, 1 for 6.